This is officially my favorite episode of Miraculous Ladybug so far to date because this episode brought out so many emotions from me and had so many moments where I gasped and was shocked and couldn't believe the situations, and it resonated with me in all the worst kind of ways but all the best kind of ways all at the same time. So it's career day in Paris. And Chloe is being her usual bratty self, but thankfully this is the only appearance by her. But there are various different kiosks set up all across Paris where people who want to look into a future career can do so. However, Adrian is at a loss. He's always just kind of done what his dad told him to do. He doesn't really have any things beyond that. So he's at a bit of a loss. What do you do when your dad has controlled every aspect of your life? On the flip side, Marinette has so many different things that she wants to do that she's not really sure what she wants to make a career out of her future. Meanwhile, we see Alec Cataldi with his brand new show that's a little bit on the mean side called You Gotta Be Kidding Me, looking into various different careers that don't seem like they're useful at all. It's very mean-spirited, especially when he goes after Andre the Ice Cream Man, mostly citing the various difficulties when it comes to actually finding Andre and, getting ice cream from him and all that good stuff. But Andre makes a note that what he does is more of an experience. It's something he loves to do, and he's able to make people happy where he can. It's not just a job to him, it's a career that he loves. And this comment resonates within Alec. And I really do love this moment because you can see the gears turning in his head as he walks away. Meanwhile, Marinette comes up to Andre and asks how he knew he wanted to become an ice cream man. And Andre makes it known that he used to work in an office. And man, I really started to relate to this episode in all the worst kinds of ways. He worked a dead-end job that just made him feel miserable day in and day out. And it was only when he would go home and make ice cream concoctions that he was truly happy. Until one day he just had enough and decided to just spend the rest of his life making ice cream concoctions for anyone and everyone. He found something that he loved, and he says that a true career is one where there's something you're good at, you do it because you love it, and you do it because people enjoy it. When those three things combine, it creates a wondrous career. It is then that Marinette is met by Luca, who shows him the career that he's pursuing. He's actually decided to start making stringed instruments, which is actually phenomenal. Geez, Luca, you are an amazing guy. But in comes Alec once again to try to tear this all down, saying, what's the point of actual instruments when you can just download an app on your phone? So Luca brings everyone out to the nearby waterside so that he can, and I'm pretty sure you can't do this, just holds the violin up to the air and lets the wind kind of pluck at the strings, creating this very beautiful melody. And I'm just like, that's not how that would work, but regardless, it's actually pretty beautiful. And he says that, yes, you can download an app on your phone, but there's something special about the dexterity of using an instrument. The time, the practice, the effort, the feel, the touch, the tuning. It's just something you can really be passionate about in your own special way. And this ends up resonating with Alec as well, as he starts to well up with tears, and I'm welling up with tears because I know what he's feeling. I know where this is going, and it's hurting my soul. Meanwhile, as Alec and his cameraman leave, Lucas spots Adrian, who is sulking after going through all the various different jobs at the fair, and Luca, being the real G that he is, brings Marinette over to console Adrian and see why he's feeling so down. And he lets him know that he doesn't know what he wants to do with his future. He's never really had a goal for what he wants to do growing up. But as he comments that Marinette and Luca seem to have it all figured out, they all think it's not that simple, which gets a chuckle out of them. It's such a sweet, genuine moment between these three. As Luca comments that, his decision came from the fact that he didn't want to follow in his dad's footsteps. He didn't want a career as a musician. He decided he wanted to make musical instruments so that people could find their own voice, their own love for music. Meanwhile, Marinette has so much going on that she's not sure where she wants to go in life, and Adrian is at a loss because he doesn't have anywhere he wants to go or anything that he wants to do. But Luca, once again being amazing, says that they're amazing people and they have their own rhythm. Marinette, yes, has a lot going on, but knowing her, given enough time, she will find the correct path because she's just that kind of a person who always finds the answers, just given enough time. Whereas with Adrian, yes, he's being controlled by his father on the daily, but deep down inside there's a joy that'll never completely be taken away. There's an inner fun-loving person who just wants to go with the flow for the most part. And in this beautiful moment, he's just like, give it enough time and you guys will figure out where you want to go. Because the answers is there deep down inside you. You just need some time to help figure it out. And it really is such a tender and sweet moment as Lucas starts playing the violin and Adrian and Marinette listen, and it's just like, Luca, you are not a human being. You are an angel sent from heaven. You are too good to be a real person. Meanwhile, Alec is still going around demeaning and putting people down as he starts to kind of put down a Wishmaker. But the Wishmaker lets Alec know that wigs can be a bit of a complimentary statement to help people take on a different persona or even discover their true self deep down inside. Maybe even become the person that they always wanted to be. And it's at this moment that triggers something within Alec. As he flashes back to when he was young and he used to have a whole bunch of hair, an obnoxious amount of hair, but then he was made fun of for that hair, and so he shaved it all off and started taking himself much more seriously and started to kind of demean people for his job in the same way that he was put down. And this moment hit me really hard because this was Alec having a mental breakdown, just feeling that he wasted his life hurting people, putting them down in ways that he was put down, and how rough it feels knowing that he became the very bully that made him feel so horrible, and how he never wanted to go down this route. And just this hurt me on such a personal level as Alec just ends up sobbing, feeling destroyed and distraught, of course leaving him prone to Hawkmoth, and this moment where all the people are around him just looking on as he's just on the floor sobbing. It is heartbreak because sometimes you go through life just trying to do things the easy way or the way that will be popular, but it ends up hurting people in the process, and you lose yourself in that persona of just working and doing these things in order to help you just get by, but then you just wake up one day and you realize you threw everything away that made you happy, that brought you joy. And what are you doing with your life? Why are you just allowing this to go on the way it has been? Why aren't you living your life to the fullest? Why are you holding yourself back? Why did you give up on your dream? And it is with that the Akuma possesses Alex's microphone, and he is dubbed Wishmaker, with the ability to make people's childhood dreams a reality. And in a absolutely fabulous outfit. Like, that is. I won't lie, I love the look. It is like straight out of RuPaul's Drag Race. Fabulous. And he starts hitting people left and right. One person wanted to be Santa Claus, so they become Santa Claus and just start raining presents down left and right. Comes upon Jagged Stone, who oddly enough always wanted to be an alligator, and poof! Suddenly Jagged Stone is gone to greet his son as an alligator. Jagged Stone alligator is actually pretty cool. But Marinette and Adrian see all the mayhem going on, including a giant robot that chases after them, with Luca hiding Marinette away and trying to get the robot's attention, only for him to be rescued by Ladybug. But when he goes back over to see if Marinette's okay, she's gone. Suspicious. Although he has no time to think about it, as Jagged Stone actually can't swim, despite the fact that alligators are so proficient at it. And as Ladybug is dealing with the giant robot, she manages to tie it up, and with an assist from Cat Noir, she's able to bring it down. Meanwhile, Wishmaker is continuing to cause his certain brand of mayhem, only for Ladybug to try to stop him, with him trying to explain that some of the wishes that he's bringing to life, such as turning a guy into a cucumber, you're so close to being Pickle Rick, how dare you? It's doing more harm than good, and they have to do whatever they can to keep from being hit, as Ladybug lets it known that when she was little she wanted to be the knitting fairy, which is absolutely adorable, but the knitting fairy didn't wear a mask, unfortunately. And whereas initially Cat Noir kind of mocks Ladybug for her dream, when Ladybug asks him about his, well, we already know that Adrian has never really had a dream of his own, although Ladybug keeps thinking that maybe he's just forgot. But Ladybug leaves, distracting Wishmaker to Cat Noir, as she knows that she'll need a second chance option in order to deal with Wishmaker. So she goes after Luca, who is transformed once again into Viperion. Always a big fan of the outfit. And Luca immediately activates his second chance ability to keep from their secret identities being known if they get hit by Wishmaker. And Ladybug brings out her lucky charm, which is a Dino Huggy, a little dino plushie toy. Kind of similar to Barney, more or less. And she's kind of at a loss as to what to do with this, but I love Luca's face when he's just like, man, saving the world with a stuffed animal? Now that's something I can get behind. Meanwhile, as Cat Noir clashes with Wishmaker, Wishmaker makes a very devious statement, saying that while Cat Noir might not know what his childhood dream is right now, if Wishmaker were to hit him with one of his beams, he'd know right then and there. And it's so sad how Adrian is kind of okay with figuring this out, accepting it. But Viperion comes in to get him out of the way. And as Ladybug tries to find who this Dino Huggy belongs to, Viperion does his best to swat away Wishmaker's wish bolts. Unfortunately, one of those knocked away bolts ends up hitting Ladybug, and well, her wish to become the knitting fairy comes true, and her identity is revealed to Luca, as well as Hawkmoth, who is overjoyed at this revelation that Ladybug is Marinette Dupang Chang. But thanks to Viperion's second chance, he's able to turn back time and let Ladybug know that he knows who the dino plushie is supposed to go to. So as they arrive on the scene and tell Cat Noir to get down while they deal with the situation, they find the guy who wants the Dino Huggy. Unfortunately, Cat Noir lets himself get hit and remembers his childhood dream. And as Luca turns around and views the true identity of Cat Noir, he sees Adrian, whose dream was just to be whatever his parents wanted him to be, which I feel the way they phrase that isn't quite right. I think what he wanted to be is just someone who can make his parents proud, that would make his parents happy, whatever they wanted. And that's why he's so intent on following his dad's wishes, not just because Gabriel is his father, but because he loves his father, he loved his mother, and it's in his mind he believes that by just following their orders he can make them happy. It's a very tragic outlook on this. And I love Gabriel's reaction to finding out that Cat Noir is his son, because it goes in such a different direction from the Cat Blanc episode with Bunnix, because he took full advantage of that, but here it's just like he's just at a complete loss. Maybe he'd go down that route regardless and try to use his son to his advantage, but for right now his look here is priceless. This is what made me gasp, because I'm just like, holy crap. But as Luca weighs the options, because they have found the person that the plushie is supposed to go to, he decides now is not the correct time and activates Second Chance, bringing them back to where they started once again. But this time Viperion decides to stay with Cat Noir to ward off Wishmaker, while Ladybug helps to get the person into position, and he is transformed into his childhood dream, a Dino Huggy. And they sick the Dino Huggy after Wishmaker, who can't really do anything about it because the wish has already been made. And so the Dino Huggy, much like Barney, decides to give the Wishmaker a big old hug. This allows Ladybug to knock the microphone out of Wishmaker's hands, and Cat Noir uses his Cataclysm to destroy it and free the Akuma. And thus, the day is saved by Ladybug and Cat Noir, with a magical charm given to Alec so that he won't be changed back. Our trio then congratulates each other on a job well done, and as Alec has a new outlook on life, deciding on a new show, questions what the hero's wishes are, although they have to keep that under wraps along with their identity. And once they're out of sight, Luca hands back the Snake Miraculous to Ladybug, but Ladybug questions if Luca ever had to use the Second Chance, and Luca, surprisingly, lies and says they never got hit, so he never had to use his Second Chance. Their identities are safe and sound. But it's obvious that this lie kind of weighs on Luca, but I kind of get where he's coming from. He doesn't want to cause any undue stress on Ladybug. She would have to find a new person for the Snake Miraculous, and it might complicate their relationship as a whole, with him knowing what he knows, both the identities of Cat Noir and Ladybug. He's the only person in the present timeline who actually knows, and in general, the only person aside from the future Alex Kodal, aka Bunnix, who knows both of their identities in general. Mostly because she travels throughout all of time, so she has to be able to keep a secret. But, it was bound to happen because of the nature of Viperion's powers. So I really don't blame him for wanting to just keep this secret. And considering how cool of a guy that Luca is, it's not like he'd ever blab. As he heads over to where Marinette was hiding the entire time, and states that he's just glad she was safe, as Adrian meets up with them as well. And as Adrian heads back home, his resolve is strengthened in the fact that he'll just keep going with the flow of things, make his dad as happy as possible, but also find his own path in life later down the line. Whereas Marinette decides that she will do all the things, no matter what may come. Be Luca's friend, be Adrian's love interest, be a seamstress, whatever may come her way, she'll she'll tackle it regardless. And with that, we also see Alex's new broadcast, which is all about making your dreams come true. And in an allusion to RuPaul, he signs out by stating, "How are you going to love other people if you don't love yourself?" Those words cut me to the bone. And thus ends a absolutely fantastic episode. I love the new outfit for Alec. Alec, you live your truth. You are fabulous. You go off. You do your thing. I love it. Luca was a real G for his friends. He really stood up for them. He really was there when they needed him. And what to say? Don't give up on your dream. If they're not hurting anyone and it doesn't leave you in a destitute state, pursue your dream. Even if you kind of have to put them a little bit on the back burner, don't give them up completely. Or you just might find yourself one day down the line wondering, where did all of your time go? Where did your life go? Why did you give up on the things that you wanted deep down that meant so much to you? What changed? What happened? It's not always easy to follow your dream, but if it's something that you care about that means a lot to you, keep chasing it, no matter how long it takes. Because at the end of the day, even a little bit of that happiness in pursuing what you love is better than living a life of regret and bitterness because you gave up. Surrender should never be an option because you're worth so much more than that. This episode really resonated with me, and a lot of the issues I've had growing up, the dreams I've given up on, the life I wish I had lived going forward. And to anyone else who is in that position, I say to you, keep trying. Don't give up. You never know where life might take you. Don't let your dreams fade into the background and become a source of bitterness and sorrow for you. Live it out. Live your truth. Find your own happiness, because that's the meaning of life, to find your happiness. Believe in yourself and go the distance. But tell me, what did you think about this episode? What did you think about Luca and the fact that he's keeping Ladybug and Cat Noir's identities a secret? What did you think about Alec and his troubles? Did you relate to them? Are you afraid to relate to them? How do you feel about them? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.